Let's now take a look at the basic settings you need to know to use your WordPress website. So let's go down to Settings, and we're going to take a look at General, Writing, Reading, Discussion, Media and Permalinks. Now the remaining three are just there because I have installed plugins, and this is where I can control some of the settings on those plugins. So just ignore the bottom three, and in fact on your site you may have some other settings there that have come from your plugins. Now I'm not going to go through every single one of those in detail because that would take quite a long time. So I'm just going to show you the things you need to know to get started. Let's start with General. So here on General we've got the site title, we've got the tagline of the site, those are a few words that explain what the site's about. You've got your URL for your site. Those will have been set up when the site was set up, and in general you're best to leave those well alone unless you've got a very good reason for changing them and you're clear why you're doing that. You've got the email address that is used for admin purposes, so any notifications you get from your WordPress site will go to that email address. Now you can have different members of your site, so for example you could be the administrator of the site and you can control everything on the site. You may have someone else who posts your blog posts for you, and you can set them up as a member of your website. This checkbox here is how you control whether anyone can set themselves up as a member of the website, or you can leave that blank and you are then in control of setting that up yourself. Now if a new user can add themselves to your site, you want to control the level of access they have to your site, of course. You wouldn't want them to go in and set themselves up as an administrator, and that's how you set the default role for a new user. Then we've got the time zone, we've got the date format for your site and the time format. Pretty self-explanatory those. Let's move on to writing. You can set the default post category here, so when you create a new post and you maybe forget to set the category, it will by default go to uncategorized unless you change it there. You can also post via email, so you can send an email to your WordPress site and it will post that email as a blog post. That's where that's set up. And then we've got update services, and to help promote your blog posts, whenever you post one, WordPress has the ability to send a ping, so tell some update services that you have in fact published a new post. I won't go into too much detail on that because if you click on update services it will tell you all about that on the WordPress Codex, which is like the WordPress user manual. Let's go down to reading, and here you can choose whether your front page displays your latest posts or a static page. You can control how many blog pages are shown and whether it shows the full text of the post or just a summary. If you are setting up your new site and you don't want search engines to index the site, you can tick that box, but in general you want people to find your site, so you tend to leave that unticked. And these are email messages that are sent out when somebody follows your blog or follows comments on your blog, and you can edit those. The discussion section, that controls your comment settings. So let's just have a look at an example here. To control spam a little bit, you can make it so that when somebody leaves a comment they have to fill out their name and email, or you can make it so that they need to register on your site and be logged in to be able to comment. Going down to media, that controls the sizes of your images that are uploaded. And then going down to permalinks, the permalink settings are where you can control the URLs of your posts. So you can choose, for example, this format, so you've got the domain name followed by the date and the name of the post, or any of the others here, or you could have the domain name followed by just the name of the post without the date in it. That's up to you to decide. And don't forget that when you change any settings, make sure you save them when you're finished.